1. Introduction. My name is Angel. I want to tell you my story. It started on a very special day. I was 27 years old. My husband, Steve, was with me. We were at the hospital. This day was the happiest day in our lives. We waited for many months for this moment. I was going to have our baby. We had prepared everything for her. The hospital room was bright. Nurses were there to help. They smiled at us, which made me feel calm. Steve held my hand very tight. I felt his strength and his love. The doctor spoke to us often. He said that everything was going well. I was a little nervous, but also very excited. Our baby would come soon. Then, the most wonderful moment came. I heard a sound. It was a small cry. It was my baby's first cry. This sound filled my heart with so much pure love. It was a new and strong feeling. I looked at Steve. He had happy tears in his eyes, too. We were both so incredibly happy. A kind nurse smiled and told us, "It's a girl." I started to cry happy tears myself. They ran down my face. Steve leaned close and kissed my forehead gently. We looked at our baby girl. She was so tiny and delicate. Her skin was soft and pink. She had small fingers and toes. She was perfect in every way. We had already chosen a beautiful name for her. We named her Emma. Emma was truly beautiful. We could not stop looking at her little face. She was our daughter, our miracle. We felt a deep and instant love for her. This was our family, full of joy. After a little while, a nurse carefully took Emma from my arms. She needed to clean our baby and make sure she was healthy. This was a normal part of the hospital process. I watched her go. Steve and I stayed in the room, holding hands. We talked about our future life with Emma. We dreamed about all the happy times. We felt so much joy and hope. This day was truly perfect. 2. Bad news. A few hours passed. I waited happily in my hospital room. Steve was with me. We talked about our new baby, Emma. We imagined our life with her. We felt so much joy. The room was quiet and warm. Then the door opened. 2 doctors walked in. Their faces were not happy. They looked very serious. My happy thoughts stopped. Steve and I looked at each other. We felt something was very wrong. One doctor spoke. His voice was quiet and slow. "Angel, Steve," he said, "we have some very bad news. There has been a big mistake." My heart beat fast like a bird in a cage. A mistake? What kind of mistake? I could not think of anything bad. We just had our beautiful baby girl. How could there be a mistake now? Steve and I shared a worried look. The doctor looked at me again. His eyes were sad. "The baby you have," he said, "is not your baby." I did not understand his words. My mind was confused. "What do you mean?" I asked. My voice was weak and shaky. "I just gave birth to her. She is my daughter. I held her in my arms." The second doctor spoke now. He seemed very sorry. "We are truly sorry," he said. "There was a mix-up in the nursery. Another baby was given to you by accident. We found the mistake too late." My body felt cold. A mix-up. How could this happen in a hospital? My baby Emma was with me just a little while ago. Was she not mine? The words hit me hard, like a punch. Then, the first doctor said the worst thing a mother could ever hear. "Your real daughter," he told us, "is missing." Missing. My baby, my true daughter, was gone. I felt a scream in my throat. It came out loud and sharp. Steve quickly put his arms around me. He held me very tight. I felt like the floor was moving under my feet. Everything felt wrong. This could not be true. How could a hospital make such a big mistake? How could they lose a baby? My baby? I started to cry. Big, hot tears ran down my face. I was so scared. Where was my daughter? Was she safe? Who had her? I looked at Steve. His face was also full of worry and sadness. We had just been so happy, filled with love. Now our world was broken. This was the worst news a new mother could hear. My heart ached with fear and sadness. I felt terrible. My baby was missing, and I did not know what to do. Our happy day had turned into a nightmare. 3 sad days. The next days were very difficult. They felt like a long, bad dream. I was still in the hospital room with the baby. She was sweet, with small hands and soft hair. I looked at her often. My heart felt sad and happy at the same time. I loved this baby, but I knew she was not my daughter. This thought made my heart ache. It was painful to love a baby who was not mine. I could not sleep well. Every night my mind was busy. I thought about my own baby. Where was she? Was she okay? I dreamed of a little girl calling me Mama. But her face was always blurry. I wanted to see her and hold her. The hospital room felt cold and empty, even with the baby sleeping near me. Reporters waited outside our room. Nurses walked past quickly, avoiding our eyes. Doctors spoke to us, but their words were careful and cold. They said they were sorry for the mistake. They said they were looking for our daughter, but I did not feel they were truly helping. It felt like they were hiding something important. Steve tried to be strong. He talked on the phone all the time. He called the police many times and spoke to lawyers. He wanted answers. He wanted to find our baby. The police started an investigation, asking questions. But days passed, and there was no news. No one knew where our daughter was. The hospital management gave us little information. They said it was a big mistake in the nursery. They said they were investigating internally, but they did not tell us how it happened or who was responsible. It was a large building, and I felt small and lost. I felt alone in my pain. Every day was the same. I woke up with hope, but it went away quickly. I looked at the baby in my room. She was innocent. I held her and thought about my own baby. I wished I could hold my true daughter. Steve and I sat together in silence. We did not know what to do. We waited for a phone call for good news, but the hospital stayed quiet. The police found nothing new. It was a time of deep sadness and fear. We just wanted our baby back. 4. A secret. One night, Angel could not sleep. Her heart ached for her missing baby girl. She quietly left her room and walked to the hospital nursery. It was very late, and the hospital was silent. When Angel reached the nursery, she looked through the glass. Inside, she saw a nurse talking to another woman. This woman wore expensive clothes. Angel felt a strange, uneasy feeling. Why was this woman here so late? Angel quickly hid behind a large plant. She listened. They were whispering. The nurse spoke first. Her voice was low. "She must never find out," the nurse said. Angel knew they were talking about her. A cold feeling went through her body. Then the rich woman answered. Her voice was strong. "She won't," the woman said. "No one will ever know. She has the wrong baby. My powerful family will protect me." Angel's heart pounded fast. The wrong baby? This woman knew this was not a mistake. It was a dark secret. Angel felt scared, but also very angry. She had to know the truth. She waited, watching the rich woman closely. After a few minutes, the woman left the nursery. Angel waited a moment, then followed her quietly. The woman went up to the top floor of the hospital. She stopped at a door. On the door, a clear sign read, "Private, authorized staff only." The woman opened the door and went inside. Angel stood still outside the private room. Her mind was racing. This was much more than a simple error. This was a careful, bad plan. Someone had taken her baby on purpose. Someone knew where her daughter was. Angel felt a new, strong purpose. She would find her daughter. She would uncover this secret. She would not stop. 5. The plan. After the secret I heard, I could not sleep well. My mind was full of questions. I knew I needed answers. The next morning, I went to the hospital records room. It was early, and not many people were there. I saw a kind janitor. He was cleaning. I asked him for help. I told him I needed to find some papers about my baby. He was nice and showed me how to get inside the room. He pointed to the correct section. The records room was big. There were many shelves with files. I started to look for my baby's birth file. It took some time to find the right folder. Finally, I found it. My hands shook a little as I pulled it out. I opened the file and read the papers carefully. I saw my name, Angel, and Steve's name. I saw the exact date Emma was born. Everything seemed normal. Then, I saw another paper tucked inside the file. It had another mother's name, Isabella Grant. Her baby was born on the same day as mine. I remembered the rich woman from the night before, her expensive clothes and secret whispers. Could this be her? The paper stated Isabella Grant was from a very powerful family. This detail connected to the secret conversation I overheard. I continued to read the papers, my eyes scanning every word. It was a secret report, hidden from most people. This report said Isabella's baby was born with health problems. The baby was not strong. But my baby, Emma, was born healthy and strong without any issues. This was a big and sad difference. I read further that Isabella's family made a deal. They paid a nurse a lot of money. The nurse was corrupt and agreed to their plan. Her job was to switch the babies. My baby was taken on purpose, not by accident. It was a planned act. I felt very sick. It was a terrible, cold feeling. My baby was taken from me because someone else wanted a healthy child. They wanted a perfect child for their powerful family. They did not care about me or my baby. This was not a simple mistake. This was a terrible, unfair plan. My heart was broken again, but now I also felt very angry. I knew what happened. I knew who was behind it. I had the proof. I needed to tell Steve everything. We needed to get our daughter back. This was their plan, but I would make my own plan to fight them and win. 6. The fight. Angel held the papers tightly. Her hands shook a little. She found Steve, who looked very tired. "Steve," she said, her voice firm, "look at this." She gave him the hospital files. These papers showed the terrible truth about the baby switch. Steve took the papers and read them. His face became very pale. He could not believe it. "They planned this. They took our baby on purpose," he whispered. Angel nodded. Tears came to her eyes. Steve hugged her tight. He understood. This was not a mistake. It was a cruel plan. They knew they had to act. They went to the police the next morning. Angel and Steve told their story and showed the papers. But Isabella Grant's family was very powerful. They had much money and important friends. The police did not want to help at first. They said it was a difficult case with no strong proof. But Angel and Steve did not give up. They were angry but strong. They wanted their baby back. They found a lawyer. The lawyer said it would be a long fight. They also talked to many newspaper reporters and TV stations. They told their story to the news. Soon, the story was everywhere. People were very shocked. They wondered how this could happen. The news made the hospital look bad. The hospital tried to say the story was not true. They tried to hide their mistakes. But many people knew the truth. Angel and Steve fought bravely. They fought against Isabella's powerful family and the big hospital. They went to court many times. They kept saying, "We want our daughter back." Weeks passed. The fight was long and tiring, but Angel and Steve did not stop. Finally, the court ordered DNA tests. These tests would show the truth. Everyone waited for the results. When they came, they were clear. The baby with Isabella Grant was truly Angel and Steve's baby. It was their daughter. Isabella's family had called her Sophie, but Angel knew her real name. In her heart, she called her Victoria. This was a huge step. The truth was out. They were closer to bringing Victoria home. 7, my baby. After many weeks, the DNA test results were ready. They showed clearly that the baby living with Isabella Grant was our daughter. Her name was Victoria. This news brought us great joy, but I also felt very nervous. Meeting her again was a big moment for us. I had waited so long for this truth. My hope grew stronger every day. Steve was also excited, but he understood my fear. We knew this day would change everything. Our fight had led us to this point. We were ready. The day finally came. My heart beat very fast in my chest. Steve held my hand tightly, giving me comfort. We walked into a quiet room at the hospital. A kind nurse stood there, holding a tiny baby wrapped in a soft blanket. This was Victoria, our precious child. She was so small and beautiful. Her eyes were big and curious, looking around at our faces. She looked innocent and sweet, not understanding everything that had happened. I felt tears starting to form in my eyes. I had waited for this day for a very long time. The nurse gently placed Victoria into my arms. My arms had felt empty before, but now they were wonderfully full. I held my baby close to me. She felt incredibly soft and warm against my skin. I could not stop crying tears of pure happiness and deep relief. Steve leaned over us and gently kissed Victoria's forehead. It was a real kiss, full of all our love for our daughter. This time, everything felt truly right. She was ours, completely and forever. Victoria was finally home with her real parents. Isabella's powerful family tried to stop this, even at the very end. They did not want to give up the baby they had, but the court made a final, firm decision. The court ruled completely in our favor. Justice was finally done. The bad nurse who had switched the babies was arrested by the police. She would face punishment for her terrible actions. Isabella Grant was no longer seen in public. Her sad story was no longer in the news. It was still a difficult and emotional time for us. We had to return the other baby, Emma, to Isabella's family. Emma was not our biological child, but I had loved her deeply for many weeks. Saying goodbye to her was incredibly hard. My heart felt a little broken again in that moment, but I knew it was necessary. Victoria needed her true mother and father. She needed to be with us. This was our chance to start a new life with our daughter, Victoria. We had won our fight against great odds. Our family was finally complete. A new start. Our life changed a lot after everything. We knew we needed a new start. Steve and I decided to move to a new city. We wanted a quiet life for our baby, Victoria. The news had talked about us a lot. Many people knew our story. We wanted to protect Victoria from all the attention. It was important for her to grow up in peace. So we packed our things and left our old home behind. Moving was a big step. It felt strange to leave everything we knew, but it also felt right. We wanted to build a new, happy life for our family of 3. Every day, I looked at Victoria. She was so beautiful and innocent. Her smile made my heart feel full. I knew we made the right choice. Sometimes I still thought about what happened. I remembered the first baby, Emma, who was not mine. I remembered how much I loved her for those first days. It was hard to say goodbye to her. But I knew she belonged with her real family. My heart also thought about the fear. I almost lost Victoria forever. That time was very dark. I often played those memories in my mind. It was a difficult journey. But then I remembered something else. I remembered my strength. I did not give up. I fought like a strong mother for my daughter. Steve fought with me. We worked together. We told our story to everyone. We showed the truth. Many people helped us. We won our fight. We brought our baby home. That was the most important thing. We named our daughter Victoria. This name means victory. It was a perfect name for her. It reminded us of our win. It reminded us that good can come from bad. It reminded us of our strength and our love. Every time I said her name, I felt proud. She was our victory. I will never forget those difficult days in the hospital. I was called the wrong mother for a short time. But I became the right mother again. My name is Angel. My life with Steve and Victoria is now full of love and peace. We have a new home and a new future. We are building our happy life, one day at a time. Victoria is growing fast. She is a happy baby. We are so thankful for our new start.